Hey, welcome. Come on into fucking Disneyland. We got Mickey Mouse over here. Oh! We got Goofy. We got Donald. Welcome to the Snyder Syndicate. So, Disney is making the live-action Snow White, and I guess there's controversy about a lot of things, really. It turns out the dwarves, there's one dwarf, and the rest are full-sized dwarf people. Actually, that doesn't make any sense. There's 8 people in that line. I don't understand why there's 8 dwarves, you know? But there's one real dwarf. So that's something that I don't understand, is you'll cast one dwarf in the role, and then the rest you make them full size? I don't know. I think it would be more inclusive to actually, cast dwarves. Would it not? It doesn't make very much sense to me. Like, how are you inclusive in all the other races, which you could have just gotten a bunch of race-mixed midget people? What's the offense here? Because I know Peter Dinklage was, upset about this movie being made.
Criticizing Disney's live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, accusing the studio of double standards and calling on Disney to reassess the entire project.
Yeah, while the cast is racially diverse, with Latina actress Rachel Ziegler playing Snow White, Peter called
Snow White is brown.
There's a lot of hypocrisy going on, I gotta say, from being somebody who's a little bit unique, front row seat to some...
Really? Like what? Like what do you see?
Well, it's really progressive to cast literally no offense to anything, but I was a little taken back by they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White,
yeah.
Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
So, take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
You're
progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox?
And before these assholes speak, what I found interesting, I don't know if that was the first time that I heard him talk about it, because I remember him talking about it somewhere before. This may be it. But wouldn't you want some inclusion in the dwarf community? This is also the thing, too. He's like, oh, you're making a story about dwarfs. And it's like, okay, but you've also become famous and made a lot of money off of you getting those roles. So why would you not want 7 other people of the dwarf community to have the opportunity to make a living? I don't know that living in a cave, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know the Snow White story anymore, okay? It's been a long time. I just think that would be inclusive. Why don't we give these dwarfs some jobs? Give them some good jobs. They're going to get, the actors are striking. They should get a contract that's pretty good. Sign them up. Make some money, and you're going to all profit from it, okay? If that's what you want to do. But to then make a giant dwarf and still call it a dwarf, it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. At least they had some black dwarfs, all right? They had to do that. Look at this. They got 3 out of 8. Why is there 8? There's supposed to be 7. Why is 1 an actual dwarf and that's not offensive? I don't know. Makes no sense. Anyways, whatever. What are these assholes talking about?
Interesting with Peter Dinklage because, it takes Peter Dinklage to point that out where everybody was like, yeah, oh my God, it's amazing. And then you hear his perspective, but that's like with everything else. It's, it only takes one person to sort of point something out and then you're like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm with Peter on this one.
Yeah.
My thing is I realize that there is a love for certain classic movies and cartoons. There are a lot of things that just don't translate anymore. It just don't work anymore in 2022 with the things that we know and the way that we want to move forward.
How do we want to move forward? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, everything's a problem. You know? Why are we talking about stupid shit?
From my point of view, I kind of like, I don't need another Snow White. And again, like he's saying, no offense to the people putting it together, but I don't need another Snow White story. Aren't there other cultures that we can pull fairy tales from? Aren't there other cultures whose fairy tales haven't been told?
Well, that seems to be the problem. All right, they already made a Black Mermaid. Now they're making a Mexican Snow White. And then they made a Mulan movie that was dog shit. You know, Mulan, the cartoon, was one of my favorite Disney, and that movie was amazing. And then it's like you have the opportunity to take this culture, this amazing culture, and make a great movie about it with the same story, and it would have been a beautiful movie. And they fucked it up. How do you do that? I just don't know how you keep dropping the ball on all this shit. These companies act like they give a shit. And I don't think they really do. They're just trying to make money from it. What was that hip-hop? Oh my god, there was a hip-hop movie in the 2000s that just took over the fucking dance world. Whatever it was. Backyard Stomp Ground or some shit. Right? And it's like you can make movies about these cultures within different races, and you can make some cool shit, but no one chooses to do it. They just recycle the same shit, but they're just like, alright, they have a different skin tone.
Cynical look is that it appears transparent as to why this will exist in the first place.
Yes.
This remake, right?
Yes.
But I know, I'm all for getting new stories told.
Yeah, and believe me, there is a way to do Snow White without 7 dwarves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a very easy way to not have 7 dwarves in Snow White, and that is you just don't put 7 dwarves in Snow White.
Yeah.
They were like let me spin around and I'll be happy. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Because they were like a huge part of the story. Are you saying just put 7 random fucking people there? Are they not allowed to exist? You know? I don't know. You gotta think about a lot of people back then also just never saw a dwarf in real life. You know, you have the internet now where I can go find a dwarf right now. Right? But back in the day, you had to just be stumbling out in the wild and be like, holy shit! What the fuck is that? You know? So if you didn't have this Disney cartoon, it came out like 1937. If you didn't have this cartoon, you wouldn't even know. You know? I don't know. Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? Obviously not, dude. But maybe you did, because there's fully grown people here. And there's one of them, which I thought that was Peter Dinklage at first. And I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Why did they cast Peter Dinklage as the only dwarf here? He's out here stealing jobs and shit. After a lengthy development period. And the lengthy development period was just trying to figure out if you're going to put actual dwarfs in the movie or not. That's probably what they debated the most about this movie. Fuck the story. What are we doing with the dwarves? In the past few years, as part of their Reimagine Tomorrow initiative and Inclusion Key, Disney has been making a more active effort to be inclusive of people of color, LGBTQIA+, people with disabilities, and other minorities often overlooked. Now, I know when I read that sentence, and I am this fucking white, that it already sounds like I'm talking shit. Disney has committed to cultivating an environment where all people feel welcomed and appreciated for their unique life experiences. I mean, you can respect it without, like, changing the entirety of life. Or what the fuck? Welcome and appreciated for their unique life experiences. I mean, life has been unique of an experience for every individual ever. So what does that mean? Like, you can be how do you be inclusive to everything? You know? Isn't that like fucking impossible? You can just accept it and be like, hey, welcome, come on into fucking Disneyland. We got Mickey Mouse over here. Oh! We got Goofy. We got Donald. It's just make shit. Okay? And shut the fuck up. I don't understand why are we highlighting everyone's lifestyle? Why can't we just have a lifestyle and live that style of life and just be done with it, you know? Which me sitting here talking about it doesn't help. It was only last year that Disney started to hire diverse actors, including black people, to portray Santa Claus. Okay? Disney covered a Native American character on a logo at the Main Street Confectionery. Oh my god, I can't read. You know, this is the thing with Native American people, too, is I feel like all you're doing, I mean, I understand there's, I don't know, dude, sometimes it's just images of Indians, you know? I don't know what the Indians' take is on these images being used for football teams and stuff, but I feel like it's like at least a representation, is it not? Something else that doesn't make sense to me is you had Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima taken off of the packages, right? And it's like, okay, but that was theirs. And you took their images off of their own package, but then you look over at Quaker Oats and you got fucking George Washington staring you in the face. You know? So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. You take away the black people and then you keep fucking Quaker Boy on there. Anyway, sorry. Earlier this year, cast members were instructed to address guests as friend instead of sir or ma'am to be more inclusive of all genders. Hey, sorry, dude. Is this seat taken? Hey, what the fuck did you just call me? Dude! I am non-binary! Oh, it's over? We're done? I still don't understand this image. You know? You still have a dwarf in there. And then 7 tall people. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. What's your opinion on dwarfs losing their jobs to tall people? Hashtag dwarf lives matter too. Alright? Let's not forget.